Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee, the heartland of America. A fitting location for the 1991 Chevrolet National Dealer Convention. It was a true family reunion. Ideas were shared, opinions were candidly exchanged, and strategies and goals for the 1991 model year were set forth in a series of meetings. Here to tell you more is Chevrolet's General Manager, Jim Perkins.
Our recent meeting in Nashville was a tremendous success. It was one of the most important business meetings we've ever conducted. We called it the Way to Win, as we discussed our priorities with you, our dealer body. Among them were three primary goals: maintaining leadership in passenger cars in 1991, strengthening our position in trucks, and improving overall customer satisfaction. If you attended the Nashville Family Reunion, I hope you'll use this presentation to review what we discussed and help focus your sights on the new model year. If you were unable to be with us, I feel it's vital you see and hear the message about the challenges that face us in 1991. To begin with, the new chairman of General Motors, Bob Stemple, spoke to the dealers by way of videotape opening night. As you know, Bob was general manager of this division a few years ago, and he has a special place in his heart for the entire Chevrolet organization. So, he made it a priority to give his perspectives on the division and where it's heading. I'd like you to...
Nothing can stop me from visiting with my friends, the Chevrolet dealers, even if it has to be on videotape. I have some very fond memories of Chevrolet, both for the time I spent there as an engineer and my time as a general manager. Chevrolet people, and especially Chevrolet dealers, have a special place in my heart. And to anyone who loves cars, as I do, the Chevrolet name is something special. It's a name I associate with winning. Winning on the racetrack and winning in the marketplace. Chevrolet has always been a vehicle that delivered more than expected. More features, more style, more value. More than expected. That's an idea I keep returning to. Satisfying customers, really satisfying them, sometimes means going beyond the expected. Offering them just a little more. A little more in design, a little more in service, a little more in value. More than they thought they were going to get. It's a lesson I learned at Chevrolet, and one I've never forgotten. Something else I learned at Chevrolet is to see the business from a dealer's perspective, from a volume dealer's perspective. To keep up those volumes, you have to do a little more than expected too, and you know it. And you expect Chevrolet and General Motors to help you with outstanding vehicles, as well as outstanding processes, outstanding marketing initiatives, and most important, outstanding leadership. That's one of the reasons we've developed, with the help of you dealers, an outstanding new dealer agreement. An agreement that's the best in the business. To the man or woman looking for a car or truck, you are Chevrolet. Customers don't care about how many plants we have, about how many engineers we employ, or how big the office staff is. They care about the vehicle, the price, and the treatment they receive. When it comes to the relationship between General Motors and its dealers, there's no doubt in my mind, and I hope there's none in yours, the dealer is the essential part of the customer service equation. The customer is going to judge us on the basis of your actions. Selling cars is a complex business, but you're the most important single element. Your success is crucial to our success. Not only the success of Chevrolet, but the success of all of General Motors. Just think for a minute about the strength of Chevrolet. It's GM's only full-line division, from the $6,000 Metros to the $60,000 Corvettes. Chevrolet offers a greater variety of cars and trucks than most of the corporations that compete with General Motors. And Chevrolet offers real variety. Compacts, family cars, station wagons, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and the world's finest sports car, the Corvette. Chevrolet also offers a full line of trucks. Virtually everything that can be called a truck is available from Chevrolet, from compact and full-size pickups to vans, utility vehicles, and chassis cabs. And Chevrolet also offers Geo, a family of great small cars and trucks. Chevrolet is General Motors' volume division. More than half the General Motors franchises in the United States are Chevrolet dealers. More than half of all the cars and trucks General Motors sells today are sold through Chevrolet. For those and many more reasons, it's important to GM that Chevrolet be in the #1 position. What keeps a nameplate in the lead when it comes to the competitive race? We all know there are many factors. Styling, technology, price all come to mind. In recent years, quality has been an important differentiator among brands. But as vehicle quality improves across the board, the differences are decreasing, and customers are gaining confidence that the quality they want will be there. That makes the role of the dealer more important than ever. The future success of General Motors and its dealers will depend on the way you treat your customers, from the moment they walk through the door, all through the selling experience, on into the ownership experience, and right up to resale. And for the reasons I've just explained, our future depends on your future. I want to assure all of you that GM's global resources are there to help Chevrolet accomplish its goals. First and foremost, we're working to make sure Chevrolet has a complete lineup of high-quality, durable cars and trucks, all of them living up to the time-tested Chevrolet themes, more than expected, and affordable, long-life vehicles. Great, reliable, affordable products made Chevrolet a success in the past, and great, reliable, affordable cars and trucks are going to keep Chevrolet in the lead for the future. As you are well aware, next to a home, that new Chevrolet or Geo in the driveway is probably the most expensive product your customers ever buy. For them, it's a major investment. And in return, customers expect dependability and long life. Those always have to be at the top of the list. But Chevrolet customers expect more, much more. They want value and responsiveness. They want products that look good, feel good, operate well, and have good resale value. They also expect to be treated right when they come in and buy and look for service. And their expectations are increasing every day. They expect more from Chevrolet and from Chevrolet dealers. And it's our job to see they get it. Chevrolet has an outstanding dealer body. When we focus the resources of General Motors and Chevrolet dealer body on customer satisfaction, Chevrolet leadership is a foregone conclusion. Competition in the automobile industry is more intense today than any of us have ever known. That means being the leader, being number one, is tougher than ever. In order to maintain leadership, we have to accelerate our drive for quality, reliability, and durability, our quest for customer-pleasing features, and most of all, our search for customer satisfaction. Over the last decade, we've literally transformed our business. It hasn't been easy or painless. We've asked a lot from you, our dealers. Our products have changed, our organization have changed, we've changed brand names, introduced the Geo lineup, and brought out completely new features. I know it's been difficult for many of you, but today we're starting to see the results. You've got passenger car leadership over Ford, and you're closing the gap in trucks. Chevrolet sales are up. You've got a great product lineup. And Jim Perkins and his team have even better things planned for the future. I know you'll be hearing about that during your stay in Nashville. Thanks for your support last year, and keep up your momentum selling those great Chevrolet and Geo cars and trucks.
Bob's commitment to delivering quality products for this division is my commitment as well. As the industry leader in affordable, full-line transportation, we can't afford to allow the competition any inroads in any segment of the market. We're on top in passenger cars today because of a lot of hard work and determination. We need that same determination in trucks and in our overall customer satisfaction as well. These are two major priorities I addressed in the business meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our General Manager, Mr. Jim Perkins.
When we finalized the 1991 dealer convention, we did not know a madman in the Middle East would invade Kuwait and send shockwaves up and down every main street in the world. And it would be absurd for any of us in the room to ignore what's going on. One thing I promised every member of the Chevrolet family was that I would never try to dodge the tough issues or renege on my leadership responsibilities. So I wanted to take just a minute to tell you it's the opinion of the General Motors people closest to the Middle Eastern situation that what Saddam Hussein is counting on most of all is America's thirst for oil. He thinks he can run roughshod over his neighbors without worrying about the retaliation because we cannot survive without the oil he now controls. Well, I'm like you. As a spectator to the saber rattling, where do we go? I think he's made two very serious mistakes. He has failed to appreciate this country's will when it comes to protecting our friends. And he has failed to appreciate what car companies like Chevrolet have been doing to help make the automobile part of the solution rather than part of the problem. You know better than anybody how Chevrolet cars and trucks have become absolute mileage misers in the last 15 years. the Chevrolet fleet has improved well over 100%. And those of you who sell Geos, and by the way, aren't you glad you really do now, huh? You have in the palm of your hand the crown jewel of high mileage, the 53 mile per gallon Geo Metro. It's the most fuel efficient car in America according to the EPA, and it's a Chevy. No franchise anywhere is better prepared for almost any eventuality. And likewise, no country anywhere is better prepared for almost any eventuality. You know, when I returned to Chevrolet about a year and a half ago, or about 3 lifetimes, whichever way you want to look at it, I thought I had a pretty good game plan. I figured I'd spend about 50% of my time talking with dealers, getting their opinions on what needed to be done to get this great division back on the winning track, and then about 50% of my time in the office running the business. Well, it hasn't worked out exactly that way. Actually, I've spent about 60% of my time meeting with Chevrolet Geo dealers around the country, and about 60% of my time in the office trying to get my hands around the largest division, the largest automotive manufacturer anywhere in the world. Now, if that adds up to 120%, I think you've got the picture, and so does my pretty little wife, Barbara, who occasionally recognizes a stranger who walks through the door. Well, in retrospect, if I didn't have my allocation of time figured out just exactly right, I can say that I had my priorities right. You know, it's always been my conviction, and it remains my conviction, that the greatest asset of the Chevrolet division is and has always been its dealers. And my priority first is to do everything within my power to see that the return on investment you realize from your Chevrolet Geo dealership is the highest in the industry. Now, I am painfully aware that that has not always been the case in the recent past. But I'm as committed to that goal as you are. And I believe that there are very positive signs that we can get back to that winning position. During this morning's breakout sessions, you will hear about specific programs that we are putting in place for the coming model year that will make you more competitive. And I'm not going to preempt those remarks. But over and above these specifics, I have continually emphasized that we must be more flexible, more responsive to your needs. We must learn to be better listeners. And I think we have made some progress. And from the better marks we are receiving from the corporate dealer satisfaction reports, apparently many of you think so as well. We are decreasing the paperwork of many of our people in the field so they can spend more time meeting with you on a face-to-face basis. Our Customer Assistance Center has been instrumental in turning many unhappy owners into satisfied customers. Our Chevrolet Marketing Center is getting better at providing you the cars and trucks you want when you want them. And over this past model year, we have introduced more new cars and more new trucks than any single division in the history of this business. And we are seeing, I think, real improvements in the quality of those cars and trucks. Although, and quickly, I will tell you, I am by no means satisfied on that measure, and I intend to continue to drive hard to make sure quality keeps improving. On that, you have my word. But the bottom line is really this. The bottom line is that those Chevrolet dealers who have always operated in the black are becoming more profitable. And the number of losing dealers has been declining every month since last year. And I am confident that trend will continue as both we and you tighten our operations, get better at communications, and cooperate. You know, for most of my career with this organization, I referred to the Chevrolet franchise. But today that terminology is a little bit obsolete because the fact of the matter is that you really manage 3 separate franchises in the most competitive marketplace in our history. The first of these is Chevrolet passenger cars. With the new products we have recently brought to the market, and with those still to come in 1991, and with the preferred equipment group discounts we will put in place, you know, I'm convinced that we have the broadest and most competitive lineup of passenger cars in the industry. And that's not just wishful thinking. It is indeed a fact. If you think for a minute that one of your competitors has a better position in the passenger car market than you do, I'd like to know who it is. The second franchise is Geo. Think about this for just a minute. When can you recall a dealer organization being offered the opportunity to get a major automotive franchise that required no new brick and mortar, no new service facilities, and in most cases, not even an additional salesperson? Well, I think you'll agree that that just doesn't happen very often, at least in our business. And yet, that's exactly what we offered you with Geo. And today, Geo is the 4th largest import car marketer in the United States. The only brands ahead of us are Nissan, Honda, and Toyota. Our task in 1991 is to close the gap between Geo and Nissan. And let me congratulate you. You recently surpassed Mazda to become the 4th largest import car nameplate. I don't know where we can go with this thing, but I damn sure tell you we're going to get there. Think about who else we went past in just 2 years. Acura, Audi, BMW, Hyundai, Mercedes-Benz, Isuzu, Volkswagen, Volvo, Mitsubishi, Saab, Subaru. Well, I'd say that's a pretty damn solid success story. And it should put to rest any doubts about where Geo and whether or not Geo is here to stay. The third franchise that you must manage is Chevrolet Truck. Now, I would be less than candid with any of you, and most of you know that I am a reasonably candid person, if I did not express my absolute frustration and disappointment when I look at the job we have done, or depending on your perspective, maybe haven't done with Chevrolet trucks. And let me stress the word we, because I think we have failed to measure up on both sides of the fence, dealers and the division. We have the newest and without a doubt the best full-size pickup on the market today, bar none. We have preferred equipment group discounts on core products. And for the most part, we have met the competition head-on when it comes to consumer incentives. And yet, Ford continues to beat our brains out in truck sales. It's a shame. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact is that we control our own destiny. And when we seek reason for this failure to close the gap with Ford in truck sales, there's only one place to look, and that's squarely at that person standing in the mirror in front of you. There's not a day goes by that I don't hear from somebody about the need for bigger and bigger customer incentives to remain competitive in the truck market. And yet I hear very little about pure old-fashioned salesmanship and individual dealer promotional efforts. I'm only going to use a few charts in this entire talk, but these next two present a significant picture of what's happened to us. Let's look at a track record of registrations over the past 15 years. Chevrolet passenger cars are shown in blue. Ford passenger cars are shown in red. Obviously, during most of the period we're talking about, we have dominated Ford in passenger car sales. And in 1990, thankfully, we're back on top where we belong. I appreciate that. You did it. You deserve the credit. But now, stop patting yourself on the back for just a minute. Look at the truck registrations. I should say ourselves. Chevrolet truck registrations are shown in blue. Ford trucks shown in red. But most of these years, we were running neck and neck. As recently as 1985, we achieved truck sales leadership. But in 1986, Ford went ahead, and they've stayed ahead ever since. Now, the graph really doesn't tell you the full story about our deficit, but this does. Since 1985, and I want you to absorb this, Ford has sold 763,303 more of those ugly trucks than we have. Pathetic. Now, over the years, can you imagine the amount of profit those truck sales have meant to the Ford dealers of America? They should have been yours. You should have declared war. Without those truck sales, how many of your competitors in Ford would even be in business today? Ladies and gentlemen, the major battle must be fought and won in truck sales. It's clearly apparent. And the most important, thing about the market is that it continues to be fueled every day by literally thousands of people who are crossing over from the car side of the market. You look at market shifts, that's where it's going. When you wonder why we're not doing with passenger cars what we once did in total volume, look at where we are in trucks. We've gone past Ford on the passenger car side, and now we must accomplish that same thing with trucks. Today, Ford is delaying most of the programs that had been in place to refresh or replace their product lines. They blew $3.9 billion on Jaguar, and as a result of that, the cash cow is beginning to dry up a little bit. Ford literally has no weapon to answer our geo-strategy. The Festiva is an orphan car line and will never produce any volume for Ford or any profit for Ford dealers. And so in my estimation, Ford has kind of painted himself into a corner. If together we can aggressively attack the truck market and every segment within the truck market, then we can win in trucks like we've been doing in cars. And that's the challenge, at least one of the challenges, I'm going to leave with you today. I'm going to tell you, I'm not looking for any more excuses, either from our dealers or from my staff. I am looking for results. There's another challenge which must be met as we enter the decade of the 90s. And this one assumes paramount importance over all the others. Its name, customer satisfaction. This chart shows how we rank compared to our sister divisions of GM in terms of customer satisfaction. The first column, overall CSI, is really nothing more than a combination of the last two, product CSI and dealer sales and service CSI. Now, I guess I can rationalize the fact that as the low-price, entry-level division, we occupy a slot in terms of product satisfaction somewhere slightly below Oldsmobile and Buick and Cadillac. Now, let me add that while I can rationalize that position, I don't like it, and I really intend to erase that difference. But for the life of me, I cannot understand or accept the fact that in terms of dealership sales and service satisfaction, we should be significantly lower than the other GM divisions. This is a measure of your people caring about your customers, not product-to-product deficiencies. And there is no reason why your people should not treat your customers as well as the Buick, Oldsmobile, or Cadillac dealer down the street, and in some cases in your own showroom. When we look at our primary competitors, the picture gets a little better. We're at even par with Ford in terms of overall customer satisfaction. And your sales and service index is 1 point ahead of them. Now, we're going to surpass them next year on the product side. And if you'll increase that margin on the sales and service side, Ford will be permanently back where they're most comfortable, in second place on all counts. Now, look at this. You know, this is something a little different. Look at Toyota. The challenge is clearly on the product side. Now, I will not accept our current deficiency, and you can rest assured we are closing that gap, and we will continue to close that gap. But while we get at that job, heck, you're within 1 point of equaling them. And you're within 2 points of moving ahead. I don't have to tell you that superb person-to-person caring about each customer can make the difference. No difference than the fact that you are my customer. Ladies and gentlemen, you have the way to win in 1991. You have 3 major franchises under one roof. You have a potential for profit that no other dealer organization in the world has today. But in order to win, you need to practice what I refer to as strategic selling. More than ever, you must know the needs and requirements of the buyers in your market. And it is absolutely mandatory that you have the cars and trucks they want, equipped the way they want them, in stock before they walk into your showroom. And in that context, I would urge you to spend as much time as possible this afternoon looking over the 1991 Heartbeat exhibit. I think you'll find this one to be significantly different in that it really focuses not only on the cars and trucks, but on the consumers who buy them. As a result, I think you'll take away a much better understanding of our target market efforts. The display of our new Pulsat satellite system will show you a great deal about dealership operations of the future and how we will communicate with one another in the coming years. And I stress communicate. This will be the most advanced system of its kind, and it is only fitting that General Motors dealers will be the first to benefit from it. You know, we're looking real hard at our future and where we need to be because our future is your future. And in light of that, we re-examined our Chevrolet mission statement and the elements of our brand character. And I think this is a process that we must go through on a periodic basis to go back and review basic elements of who we are and what we really stand for. And I'd like to present to you our new mission statement. And I quote, Chevrolet's mission is to be America's leading source for a full line of distinctively designed cars and trucks that are engineered to deliver more than expected in dependability, affordability, lasting value, and spirited performance. You'll hear more about the Chevrolet mission statement and the elements of our brand character later in the breakout sessions. And I'll tell you, the breakout sessions are knockouts. If you miss one, shame on you. But I think this statement does an excellent job of setting in concrete the values that have made Chevrolet the most coveted franchise in the industry in the past, and which will assure that that position is guarded for the years ahead. Dependability, affordability, lasting value, and spirited performance. To make that mission a reality will require a real team effort. Let me put it to rest. There's no one person who can do it by himself. And I'm extremely happy with the company we'll have along the way. As you know, both Bob Stemple, our chairman of the board, and Lloyd Royce, our new president, have roots in the business that began at Chevrolet. And as Bob told you last night, once you have the bow tie in your heart, you really never forget it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say that the greatest asset the Chevrolet family has is its people. It is not satellite systems or computers or plants or manufacturing processes. It is people working together as a team. Do you agree? I hope you do. And to my way of thinking, the most special people are those of you in this room today. But you know, as an organization grows in size and complexity, as new technology comes on stream and as new gadgets are invented that will supposedly solve all the problems we face, it's very easy to lose sight of that fact. It's awfully easy for people to become numbers, facts, and data that you begin to treat a little bit like a parts inventory. And I am sorry to tell you that I think we have been guilty of that sometimes. Every time I hear someone refer to the Chevrolet Geo Dealers of America as a distribution chain, I get more than a little bit peed off. You know, I've tried to meet with you as individuals as much as I possibly can. And if not as an individual, then as a member of a small group where your voice can be heard. And I'll commit to you, I'm going to go on doing that because I think that's the only way we can succeed. And I hope you're seeing that develop through the Chevrolet organization. We can succeed as a team dedicated to winning. And let me illustrate what I mean with an example. One of our dealers is the owner of several of the most successful racing teams on the NASCAR circuit. What's interesting about this gentleman is where you'll find him on race day. You're not going to find him in some air-conditioned suite high above the racetrack sipping on some Jack Daniels and watching the action on a color TV monitor. Not at all. When the green flag falls, he's down in the pits, down in the dirt and grime and gasoline fumes, covered in grease stains and sweat. He's in the middle of the action, leading his team in the way to win. And that, I believe, is what we will be required and will be required of every one of us in the Chevrolet family if we are to succeed in the future. A daily, hands-on commitment to the business. A determination not to settle for anything less than the highest customer satisfaction, the best owner loyalty rates, and yes, the best quality products in the industry. Anything less than these standards, anything less than taking the checkered flag, should be absolutely, totally unacceptable to every one of us. Now, I have no doubt there are more than just a few of you out there who are thinking, oh boy, here we go again. I'm out there trying to sell some more Prisms, Cavaliers, Corsicas, pickup trucks, and here's old Perkins again, hooked up on racing. Well, let me set the record straight on that subject. I am not hooked on racing. I am hooked on the way to win. And Chevrolet's dominance of the world of motorsports is very real. It's very tangible evidence of the way to win. Some time ago, Herb Fischel and his folks from the Chevrolet race shop gave me a sheet of paper titled The 7 Lessons of Motorsports. They are essentials every race team needs to follow if they want to win on the track. And I'd like to pass these along to you because I believe the principles behind them apply to winning a different kind of race, the race for sales, leadership, and customer satisfaction in your very own market. The first lesson of motorsports is that you must know your requirements. Race teams spend countless hours formulating strategy to know what to expect once the race begins. And every morning when you open the doors to your dealership, your race starts. And knowing your requirements means having the right stock on hand, strategically stepped in price to meet a variety of wants. It means your service facilities look professional and your people care about the customers. And it means your salespeople have the product knowledge they need to instill confidence in your buyers. Knowing your requirements gives you the pole position in the race for sales and customer satisfaction leadership. And then lesson number 2, you must maintain your schedule. To a racer, it means if you aren't at the starting line on time, the race is going to go on without you. That's no surprise, right? But the same thing happens if you allow some part of your operation to fall behind the competition, like not effectively stocking and promoting your inventory. If you're behind the Ford dealer in any area, fix it now. The competition's not going to wait on you. There's no miracles. Lesson number 3, you must manage the unknowns. During a race, teams tackle all sorts of unexpected obstacles, so they learn to prepare for them. In the same way, you must respond quickly to the daily challenges you face. You know, life in a Chevrolet Geo dealership is a constant tactical battle. It really requires outmaneuvering and out-advertising the Ford dealer on a daily basis and outgunning him for buyers on an hourly basis. Those who do win. Those who don't weep. Lesson number 4, you must maintain teamwork and communication. There's that word again. You know, there's nothing more important than working together. For example, have you ever closely observed a pit crew at work? Their job is to change 4 tires, refuel that race car, adjust the handling if necessary, and get it back out on the track in under 14 seconds. Every man has rehearsed his specific job until it becomes second nature. And throughout the race, there is constant communication between the driver and the crew. Teamwork and communication like this are essential to your success as well. Your team members must know exactly what their responsibilities are, and you must train them to carry their roles out to perfection. Lesson number 5. Racing teaches that you must face reality. In the context of a Chevrolet Geo dealership, this means every member of the team has to be the very best of the best. There's no substitute for desire and attitude. Those that aren't willing to put in the time and effort to succeed must step aside for those who will make the commitment. Sometimes all of us must make tough decisions when it comes to people. But there are no complainers and no excuses in the winner's circle. Lesson number 6. In racing, you must accept the fact that you control your own destiny. At the end of 500 miles, there's only one car in the winner's circle. And if it's not yours, there's absolutely no one else to blame. Likewise, if your dealership is not leading your market in sales and customer satisfaction, well, you're going to have to dig a little deeper. Reach a little deeper inside and do what it takes to gain that victory. Finally, you must realize the winner takes all on race day. And let me repeat, takes all. And the joy that comes with victory is absolutely incredible. Well, we've captured first place in passenger cars. It's back where it belongs to Chevrolet. As a team together, we should savor that victory for such a short time. But we should never stop realizing that leaders who let up are targets for others who are hungry for victory. May we finally learn that lesson, both at Chevrolet and in our dealerships. Those are the 7 lessons of motorsports. If you will take each of those and apply them to the way that you do business, you're going to wind up in the winner's circle. It's not a one-way street. We at the Chevrolet division must apply these lessons to the way we conduct our business. And that's exactly what we've started and what I intend to get accomplished. Racing also teaches another lesson, and that is simply this. The clock goes back to 0 for the next race. We're on the eve of launching the 1991 model year, and the clock that measures leadership is about to be set back to 0. Leadership is a position that can never be taken for granted. It must be constantly earned. We need to ingrain that lesson into every member of our team. We have a very short few selling days left in the 1990 model year. We must protect and build on our lead. But the bigger challenge is calendar year leadership for 1990. And let's commit to do whatever it takes to win combined car and truck leadership in 1991. Let's prove to the world that we have the way to win, not only on the track, but where it's most important, and that's right in your showroom. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is where Chevrolet belongs, in the winner's circle. Well, we've had some excitement this morning, but we've also talked seriously about our future and the needs to work together as a team. You know, there's always been a special bond among the members of the Chevrolet family. I think it's unique to us. Certainly no other car company that I have been associated with has that same feeling, and it's almost impossible to describe. For lack of a better word or words, I call it Chevrolet proud. And I do not mean that to be an arrogant statement. I use those words to try to express the difference that sets us apart. The fact that we recognize the worth of each member of the family, that we are all individuals with dreams and hopes for the future, that we are dependent upon one another, that we are making the way to win not a slogan, but a way of life. Ladies and gentlemen, I pledge to you that so long as I hold this office, that Chevrolet pride will never die. Thank you, and God bless you.
During the meeting, new products were revealed, including the 1991 Caprice wagon and Storm hatchback. And at the conclusion, a special reveal of the all-new Lumina Z34. After the business meeting, smaller breakout sessions revealed further specifics about Chevy's priorities for 1991. Overall marketing strategies for passenger cars, trucks, and the Geo franchise were detailed in one session. Many topics were discussed, including Chevrolet's strategy to gain additional passenger car sales and market share in 1991, especially through the use of preferred equipment group discounts to strengthen Chevrolet's price positioning. The success of the Geo franchise over the past 2 years, and how the momentum will continue to build through an expanded model lineup and increased availability of vehicles. And the strengthened position of Chevrolet in the truck market. Contributors to this include the addition of new commercial units, increased availability of CK models, plus a stronger price position to improve our performance in compact trucks. As a reinforcement to Chevrolet's efforts toward truck leadership, the traveling Sidewinding America exhibit was on site. This provided a more in-depth look at the arsenal you have to offer in commercial and work trucks. A videotape of Chevrolet's marketing strategies, including samples of television advertisements for car, truck, and Geo, will arrive at your dealership under separate cover. A second breakout covered the new GM Chevy Cares customer satisfaction concept and the launch of the Service Supremacy 2 program. GM Chevy Cares is designed to impact change within both the wholesale and retail organizations to put customers and their needs first in every phase of the dealership's service operation. The pilot program was implemented during 1989 in the Cincinnati branch. The major focus in this program has been to increase technical service support on site, enhance parts availability and ordering procedures, including getting critical parts overnight, and heighten the emphasis on training and people skills. The mission is to rebuild Chevrolet's owner loyalty base within a new generation of customers. GM Chevy Cares will go nationwide in the next 18 to 24 months. Owner loyalty is also a key to the launch of the new Service Supremacy 2 program, a program that has evolved into a complete customer-focused business system that's more in step with today's customers and their needs. Service Supremacy 2 will now use a single hardbound manual with major sections discussing in depth how to manage service transactions, manage the department in total, and manage change. Existing Service Supremacy dealers will maintain their status under the new program. Chevrolet's brand character and a greater appreciation for the lifestyles of our buyers were the subjects of a third breakout session. Detailed research was revealed that addressed how buyers perceive Chevrolet and Geo cars and trucks, how these vehicles match up with their lifestyles, and efforts dealers can take to capitalize on these perceptions. In concert with this breakout, the unique Heartbeat of America exhibit brought Chevrolet and Geo brand character to life. This exhibit showcased America at work and play, and Chevrolet and Geo products were graphically portrayed within the lifestyles of our target buyers. The final breakout session provided a preview of two new programs which will help dealers maintain the competitive edge into the 90s. The first program is the Chevrolet Geo Dealer Rent-A-Car System, or CDRAX. CDRAX is the direct result of a request from the National Dealer Council for a competitive in-dealership daily rental program. From a dealer standpoint, the biggest area of projected growth is in the local neighborhood rental market, and the dealer saw how the Chevrolet Geo Dealer Rent-A-Car System can mean increased sales, product exposure, and more dollars for the dealer's bottom line. Chevrolet will provide training seminars conducted by a professional daily rental consulting firm and roll out the program branch by branch commencing late this fall. The second program revealed how Chevrolet and its dealers will operate in the future utilizing the new Pulset satellite system. Among its many benefits, Pulset will allow expanded information capabilities within every department in the dealership. Pulset will also be the communication wave of the future between Chevrolet and the dealer body. For example, Pulset will provide live transmissions of the new Chevrolet satellite network, carrying up-to-the-minute reports on the industry and news from Chevrolet management. Reinforcing the system's capabilities was the Dealership Operation of the Future exhibit. This exhibit displayed how the Chevrolet dealership of the 90s will combine environment, a professionally trained sales and service staff, and technology to meet the customer's needs. The GM Pulsat satellite network and the future potential it provides will bring technology to the point of purchase and make a significant contribution to customer satisfaction. Dealerships will begin receiving installation of satellite dishes during 1991, with the goal of all dealerships being online by 1993. Car and truck leadership, communication in the future, new customer-focused ways of doing business, care and concern to build the Chevrolet owner base of tomorrow. All these topics and more made the Nashville meeting a challenging, rewarding time for all, as we prepare to lead the industry in the way to win during the 90s. All of these points and more are covered in depth in the dealer strategy brochure that accompanies this videotape. Be sure to review it.
Nashville gave us the time we needed to renew our commitments to one another and to strengthen our lines of communication. I hope you found it as rewarding as I did. We're dedicated to keeping those commitments strong because leadership in every market in this country, whether you're talking passenger cars, Geos, or trucks, depends a great deal upon you. You are Chevrolet to our buyers. Your image and ours, as well as the ultimate satisfaction of our customers, depends on the treatment they receive in your dealership. Frankly, we need your total commitment to these efforts. We're making excellent progress on many fronts. Passenger car leadership is back where it belongs with Chevrolet. Geo has taken off with remarkable customer acceptance in just over 2 years. And yes, We've got to regain dominance in truck sales. We need some bold promotional ideas at the retail level, and we need your commitment that Ford, with its aging full-size pickup, smaller dealer body, and inferior warranty, will not remain in first place. And of course, customer satisfaction plays an integral part in all of this. I'm counting on your help. We need a renewed dedication to winning in your market, and a commitment that the way to win will be more than just a slogan. It will be a way of life. In the long run, your commitment will make us a much stronger franchise where it really counts in the eyes of your customers. Thank you.